The Baltimore Colts have number 33, Curtis Dickey. Week to week, one of the outstanding rushers in the National Football League. Today, it's the Baltimore Colts visiting the Denver Broncos. Today, the Colts have never won here. Carlos set to kick off to begin play. Larry Anderson and Kendall Williams in Baltimore. Here we go. Kendall Williams. And he's going to come out. Gets to the 10, finds a little opening, but is down at the 12-yard line. Kendall Williams made the decision to come out of the end zone. Wilbur Myers, number 29 for the Broncos, in on the tackle. And the Colts don't start with very good field position. The ball is spotted at the 14-yard line. Pagel, Dickey, and McMillan. The offensive backfield. The receivers, Porter, Otis, and Sherwin. Mason, Hinton, Donaldson, Wright, and Harder starting up front. Baldischweiler is out with a neck injury. First down for the Colts. The handoff going to Dickey. And Dickey gets a couple. Dickey starts the day with 920 yards and a 4.3 average. The tackle made by Tom Jackson, number 57. The defensive unit, Chavis, Carter, and Jones. The defensive line, Ryan, Busick, Gradishar, and Jackson. Good linebacking crew. Lewis Wright, Mike Harden, Dennis Smith, and Steve Foley in the secondary. Second down and 8. And the pitch back. That's Dickey across the 20-yard line. Dickey, who played at Texas A&M, of course, has been a key factor in controlling the football. Barney Chavis, 79, and Steve Busick, 58, make the tackle. The gain out to the 22-yard line where it's going to be third down and 3. Sellout crowd, the 101st consecutive sellout at Mile High Stadium in Denver. Beach is in there at the tight end position, number 81. That's Porter coming in motion, and on the run, Dickey. He's got the first down and more. Dickey moving it out to the 28-yard line. So a first down for the Baltimore Colts. The Colts, with that 6-8 record, last Sunday lost a tough one, 10-6 to the Jets at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore.
Okay, we're taking a look at Curtis Dickey here, Jay. Curtis Dickey and McMillan are such fine backs. They run the ball so well, but what they do so well for each other is they block for each other. On Dickey's last run there, McMillan threw the block that sprung him, and we'll see that from them throughout the afternoon.
Pagel gives it back again to Dickey. And Dickey slashes out to the 35-yard line. They're working on that right side, Bob. The tackle was made by Chavis, number 79, and Gradishar, 53. Pagel, the young man who played, of course, for Frank Cush at Arizona State. And he's a gutty young man. These last couple of games, as Baltimore fans know, will decide whether he is going to be their number one man when they start next year. There is Frank Cush, 54 years old, a native of Windber, Pennsylvania. One of 15 children. A real battler. Second down and 3. Pagel handing off to McMillan, who gets the call for the first time. McMillan has a first down just over the 40-yard line. Barney Chavis, number 79, made the tackle. So the Colts moving the ball along the ground here.
Well, you know, I'd really like to see them open it up today. They love to stick with that ground game. That is their strength, McMillan and Dickey. But they know that if they get behind, they have to be able to throw the ball. What they would like to do is get out in front on Denver and still control the ball and keep their defense off the field.
And Pagel's first pass of the day, if he gets to throw it, he's on the run. And he is out over the 45 to the 47-yard line. Pagel with 382 rushing yards coming into today, a 9.1 average, a Colt record.
A scrambling quarterback like Pagel presents a problem to a defense. They really, if they're going to sack a quarterback like Pagel, who is looking for the run if he gets pressure. What they'll have to do is get him on the second time around, Jay.
Houston surprisingly leading Cleveland in the fourth quarter. San Francisco beating up on Buffalo, fourth quarter score. A final, Chicago over Minnesota. Alvin Moore is in the backfield now with McMillan, and it's 2nd down and 3. And that is Alvin Moore, stopped short of a first down. No gain on the play. Steve Busick, the third-year man from USC, number 58, left inside linebacker, made the tackle. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Cincinnati 17-9 in the fourth quarter over Detroit. Seattle leads the New York Giants in the fourth quarter. New Orleans defeated Philadelphia 20-17 in overtime. Dickey has carried the ball 5 times for 22 yards. And it is McMillan and Moore in the backfield right now. No, Dickey is back in. Or check that. This is McMillan, and he doesn't get it. They had Alvin Moore and McMillan in the backfield. Jim Ryan made a fine play, the left outside linebacker, number 50.
Well, if they're going to try and pick up those 3 yards going outside, one thing that they can't allow is the kind of penetration that Jim Ryan got there. We may see Baltimore go to that right side, to their right side often today. It isn't because Jim Ryan and Steve Busick are weak over there. It's because Randy Gradishar and Tom Jackson are so strong on the other side.
The top punter in the National Football League, Ron Stark, ready to punt to Zach Thomas. Stark averaging 45.5. Angle to the far sideline and going out of bounds near the 15-yard line. That's where they'll mark it, at the 15, and Denver will take over there. Well, the Broncos will have the football when we come back. 9:48 left to go in the first period. No score here at Mile High Stadium in Denver. Telecast presented by authority of the NFL. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Denver Broncos and the NFL is prohibited. There's a final. Houston defeats Cleveland 34-27. First down for John Elway and the Denver Broncos starting from the 15-yard line. Winder and Poole in the backfield, coming in motion. That's Poole, and the handoff to Winder. Winder gets a couple, trying the left side. Winder starts the day 11th in the AFC with 717 yards and a 4-point rushing average. Vernon Maxwell, the right outside linebacker, on the tackle. Elway, Winder, and Poole, the offensive backfield group. Sampson, Watson, and Egloff are the receivers. Bryan with Bishop and Howard, Lanier and Studdard on the front line for the Broncos. 2nd down and 7 from the 18-yard line. Elway going to the air for the first time, and it is incomplete. Looked like he was trying to set up a little screen on the left side, and doing an excellent job was Barry Krause along with Steve Parker. They stayed at home. He threw it out there to Nathan Poole, but Poole was very fortunate just to be able to hold on and kind of get it away from him without somebody taking it away. Thompson, Wisniewski, and Parker, the defensive line. Braceland, Odom, Krause, and Maxwell are the linebackers. Burrows and Randall, Anderson and Nesby Glasgow in the secondary. It'll be 3rd down. Gerald Wilhite and Jeff Miles are in the backfield now, and Elway operates out of the shotgun. Elway, a lot of time, throws, and he overthrows his intended receiver, number 84, Sampson, up at the 32-yard line. Tate Randall had the coverage. A tough throw on the run for Elway, and he let it soar.
Well, there's some good things and bad things about that, Jay. Elway knows where his pressure is coming from. He steps up. He gets away from his pressure. The good thing about it is, as he starts to scramble, as we see here, he's still looking to throw the ball, and that's important. He didn't quite get it down where he wanted to, but the most important thing when you have a quarterback who has the ability to run is that he still looks to throw the ball while he's scrambling.
Punting time for Luke Prestridge, the 5-year man from Baylor, averaging 42.5. That's Larry Anderson back to receive. And this is a boomer. Anderson backing up at the 27. at the 35. And down he goes. Leading the way, number 21, Myron Dupree, the cornerback. He really got down there quickly. It was a 54-yard punt. 4.2 hang time. We've got 8:45 to play. A scoreless first period here in Denver. Reeves, the 39-year-old native of Rome, Georgia, in his third year as head coach here. Pat Beach, number 81, playing tight end for Tim Sherwin, who has a neck problem. That was Beach who came in motion to the right side. Curtis Dickey, and he doesn't get a thing. Maybe a loss of about a half a yard as Randy Gradishar made the play. Gradishar, number 53, playing his last regular season game here at Mile High Stadium in Denver today. What a great gentleman. 6 times he's been in the Pro Bowl. 10-year veteran from Ohio State. Very special man.
I think, Jay, the only guys that'll be really glad to see Randy retire are the ones that are still active in the National Football League.
Pagel swings it out. Dickey cuts it up over the 40. And still going. At the 45, the 50. Penalty marker is down. Dickey's at the 30, the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown, but there is a penalty marker back at the 43-yard line. Brilliant run by Dickey, but they may bring it back. They're going to. The referee today is Fred Silva. The umpire, Tom Hensley. Head linesman is Norm Cragseth. Bob Beeks is the line judge. Pete Lisk, a former Denver Bronco, the back judge. Dave Perry and Don Orr complete this
81,
officiating team.
illegal block above the waist
Now we
on
watch
Baltimore.
again.
75, Denver, personal foul, roughing the passer, offset, replay, second down.
Oh, we've got offsetting penalties, and it nullifies a brilliant run.
Well, this is probably one of the finest open field runs you'll see all year, and what amazed me about that, Jay, is something I had mentioned a little earlier. Throughout that run, McMillan was blocking for Dickey the whole way. It's rare to see that, although it's supposed to happen. Another great runner like McMillan, they usually like to conserve their strength. They like to get ready to carry the ball themselves. But he's a very unselfish player, and he's been leading the way for Dickey on almost all his runs so far this afternoon. It's too bad that had to come back.
The infractions were against Beach and Latimer. Latimer now at the nose for the Broncos, number 72. Alvin Moore's in the backfield, number 23 for Baltimore. Randy McMillan, penalty marker goes down. McMillan gets over the 35. At the 37-yard line, Rulon Jones, big number 75, made the play. Initial call, holding against the Colts.
Well, the Colts offensive line was rebuilt at the beginning of the year. They became very solid. Jim Mills and Hart, and Donaldson, Hinton, Baldischweiler. Here, we'll listen to the call right here.
53, holding.
That's on Ray Donaldson, and probably one of the real quality offensive centers in the game. They've had injuries to that offensive line. They've had to make some changes again this afternoon. So it's going to be you have to rely, when you run the ball so much, you rely on that offensive line, and it's a tough thing for Baltimore having to make the changes they've had to make there.
Extra wide receiver in the game. Otis, Porter, and Henry are all in there. And Pagel throws just over the outstretched fingertips of Porter, number 87. Washington and Dallas in that big one down in Big D, and the Redskins score first. John Riggins, a 3-yard run. 10:43 of the first period. Washington leads Dallas 7-0. Here it's scoreless in the first period. 7:46 to play. Last week versus the Jets, Pagel. 2 interceptions hurt, but Baltimore had many opportunities to win that game. Denver's in the prevent defense, and Pagel rolls, throws on the run, and it is complete down at the 40-yard line to Porter. And Porter is all the way to the 31-yard line. First down for Baltimore, but there's another penalty flag, and it's back downfield at the 23-yard line.
Jay, you know what I think happened was when Pagel rolled out, he was across the line of scrimmage before he threw the ball.
It was close, and I think that may be the call. They're showing that area right there. Looked like he might have been a yard over the line.
Well, that's exactly what happened to him last week against the New York Jets when they had the big play toward the end of the game.
Pagel started the day with 10 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 145 completions out of 288
Illegal
attempts.
forward pass. Number 18 threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage, lost it down, 4th down.
That's what happens, Jay, when you're so fast. You get out there sooner than you think you're supposed to.
So Stark will come on to punt for the second time. And Zach Thomas is downfield. There is Pagel. Stark played at Florida State, now in his second season. A low squib kick coming up quickly. Thomas, he's at the 50, and he was met by number 29 of the Colts, Mark Kafensis, and it's a good thing he was, or he might have gotten a lot more. Only a 37-yard punt. Denver's going to have very good field position. We have 7 minutes, 25 seconds left to play. First period. No score here in Denver.
Demand quality and durability. Plymouth builds it in. The 550 Plymouth Horizon. Front-wheel drive Horizon.
Kush, a man who was an All-American defensive guard at 175 pounds. He was a tremendous player at Michigan State, 22 years at Arizona State. From the 49-yard line of the Colts, Denver first down. Elway rolling, looking, throwing, and complete. Fine catch by John Sawyer. And then he lost the football, and we will wait and see. Colts are going to get it. Well, he made a fine play, but then coughed it up. It was a tough catch, and he never apparently really could get himself squared away. Barry Krause, number 55, was the man who picked off the fumble. Well, the ball will be at the 34-yard line. First turnover of the game.
We're going to see John Elway rolling out here. You know, the thing from here, it looks like John's putting a little too much steam on the ball. It made it a tough catch for Sawyer there. He's got to learn as he rolls out and a receiver is running towards him or running with him to take a little bit of heat off the ball and give him a little better chance to hang on to it.
Pagel is throwing, and it's almost intercepted. Dennis Smith, the strong safety, cut in front of Pat Beach and almost picked it off. There's Smith out of USC, 4 interceptions already this year, and they like to bring him on the safety blitz. He has 5 sacks.
And you know what we're going to see from him today a little bit is he's going to be playing up on the tight end in tight coverage, which you don't see a strong safety do a lot. He says his knee's bad. It's been hurting him a little bit. It's easier for him to do that up in tight coverage, but also from there they can bring him on the blitz much easier.
Alvin Moore, 23. Randy McMillan, 32 in the backfield. Second down and 10. Porter going in motion, and they pitch it off to Moore. He goes the other way, and they string it out. And they don't get much, a yard or two at most. Rulon Jones, number 75, right there, and Randy Gradishar, also number 53, in to help out. Jones is quite a performer out of Utah State. He's been playing very well, a number 2 draft choice.
We're taking a look at what Denver has done so well for so long, and they have such an active defense. The contained man was Harden there, number 31. He forces the play inside where Rulon Jones and Gradishar finish him off.
Third down and 9. Denver in a prevent defense, and Pagel rolling to the near sideline, throwing back against the grain. It is complete, and it looks like a first down to number 87, Tracy Porter. It's going to be close. Mike Harden, the cornerback, made the tackle. Porter making his 25th catch of the season. It is a first down. Ball just over the 45-yard line. No score here at Mile High Stadium.
Pagel's been rolling out a lot. What it does is it buys him a little extra time. We'll see him set up here as a kind of a half roll, reads the defense well, and hits Porter right in the middle zone.
Again, it's Porter coming in motion to the near side. They pitch it back to Moore. Moore gets a couple over the 50 and down to the 48-yard line. He did most of that on his own. Got a pretty good block out in front. Number 68, Jeff Hart. Pickup of about 5. Moore with a 3.6 average coming into today's game. And the Colts have it in Denver territory at the 48-yard line with 5:16 left to go in the first quarter. No score. Earlier when they played in Baltimore September the 11th, Denver won 17-10. A touchdown run by Steve DeBerg with 29 seconds left. Won that game for Denver. Up the middle, McMillan. McMillan gets to the 46-yard line. Stop made by Gradishar once again. Last Sunday, the Broncos 27-6 winners here over Cleveland. It was Elway's finest day, 16 of 24 for 284 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the Colts, as we mentioned, lost a toughie 10-6 to the Jets. It was a defensive struggle. Raul Alegre handled the scoring with 2 field goals. Newton Williams and Alvin Moore in the backfield. The handoff goes to Moore. And Moore has the first down at the 42-yard line. Alvin Moore, who played at Arizona State. A lot of Arizona State young people on this football team of Frank Cush. Cush was there for 22 years.
Baltimore's offensive line really has something to prove today, I think, Jay. They were pretty much manhandled last week by the New York Jets. They feel they're potentially a pretty good unit. Like I said, they've had some injuries, so they would like to have a good game this afternoon.
The 37-yard line. Barney Chavis was chasing him. Good coverage that time in the secondary for the Denver Broncos.
Well, Denver's defensive coordinator, Joe Collier, really figures out a team pretty well before they play him. He's one of the great defensive coordinators in the game. What they tried to do there was hit a little slant pattern. Denver's defensive backs came up, shut it off. Pagel tried to improvise and find somebody downfield. When he does that, it's important for the receivers to come back toward him no matter where they are to give him a target to throw at.
McMillan 32 and Moore 23 in the backfield. Second down and 5. Little trouble on the handoff. Moore holds on and goes down to the 25-yard line. An excellent job by Alvin Moore. Moore was met by the strong safety Dennis Smith. Moore had a little trouble on the handoff from Pagel. He finally cradled that ball, made an excellent move here.
We're going to see him here. A lot of people wonder why you're not seeing Dickey in there. Well, this is one of the reasons. Moore can do a very adequate job. He's come on strong these last few weeks. He's played much more as the season has progressed.
First down at the 25-yard line. To McMillan, and on his own, he gets inside the 20. He got by Barney Chavis and was brought down by Busick, number 58, and Steve Foley, number 43.
Well, Baltimore has come off. They're fired up. They're coming off the ball. The running backs are breaking tackles. They're doing a lot of things with extra effort on their own. Denver kind of has to regroup, get together a little bit here. They're missing too many tackles, and they're too fine a defense to be able to not come up with the big plays when they need them down here.
Second down and 4. Sherwin is in at tight end now, and the pitch comes back to Dickey. He's in a lot of trouble. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Busick and Foley, 58 and 43, are there to make the tackle. At Dallas, Joe Theismann to Clint Didier. A 40-yard touchdown pass, and still in the first period, it is Washington 14 and Dallas nothing.
Baltimore's been much more effective, it appears, so far, running with the quick hitting plays up the middle. When they try to go to the outside, even with the speed that Dickey has, Denver's strength is the way they pursue, and they've been able to stop them when they've gone outside.
Third down and 4. Penalty markers down. Pagel throws it away, and there are 4 penalty markers down. Pass was intended down the right side for Tracy Porter, but the penalty Fred Silva. Well, they're going to...
Offense, number 75. Ball start. Third down.
Ball at the 24-yard line. There's a man who threw some passes in his day, Zeke Burkowski, with Frank Kush. Now it's 3rd and 9. Hagel's rolling. They're running for him. He throws back. It's intercepted and then dropped. Oh! Dennis Smith had it. Almost came up with his 5th interception of the year. I thought he had. I'll tell you, Porter did a good job. He kept battling him in there, and that was why Smith couldn't hold on.
We're going to see him roll out here. One of the toughest things to do is roll out one direction and throw back the other. You lose sight of where the defensive players are. Tracy Porter there had to become a defensive back in that situation and did a good job keeping Dennis Smith from making the interception.
The rookie from Texas, Raul Alegre, 91 points on the year. He's tied a club record with 24 field goals. Ties Jim Martin's record set in 63. Ron Stark to hold. High pass from the 32. A 42-yard field goal is good. Raul Alegre, having a marvelous season, has put the Baltimore Colts on top. 1 minute, 20 seconds left to go in the first period. And the Colts lead the Broncos as you look again at Raul Alegre. The return up the far sideline by Zach Thomas just over the 20-yard line. Thomas was met on the play by number 54, Sanders Shiver.
You know, we're looking at what is interesting today about this game, two very contrasting situations here, Jay.
I'm going to show you this return up the sideline.
As we're doing that, you know, you look at Baltimore, they're somewhat of an uptight team. Kush was very upset last week at the levity they showed on the sidelines. He said they weren't taking the game seriously enough. On the other side of the field, you have Denver, who felt that what was responsible for their victory last week was the fact that they loosened up and they were having more fun and they were enjoying what they were doing. So it's two different, very different approaches we're looking at this afternoon.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. 1:11 left to play in the first quarter. And Elway giving it off. That's Sam Winder. Sammy from Southern Mississippi. Now, they must run the ball a lot with him to be successful along the ground.
They really want to try and establish the run. They want to keep their defense off the field as much as possible, keep them fresh, because they really feel they rely so heavily on their defense.
Seattle beat the Giants this afternoon 17-12. New Orleans over Philadelphia in overtime. Credit Barry Krause with that last tackle. It is 2nd down and 9. Washington an early lead at Dallas. That's Watson coming in motion. Elway throws out into the flat to Sampson. And Sampson gets back up over the 25-yard line. Barry Krause, number 55, make the tackle. Sampson started the day with 6 receptions, 161 yards. Rick Upchurch is out of the lineup. An injury to him, of course.
Baltimore has played a pretty conservative defense throughout the year. They've blitzed when they have. They've 85% of the time usually go with Vernon Maxwell. I think what we're going to see today, though, is we're going to see them take a few more chances. They're going to blitz strong side as well as weak with all their linebackers. Try and put some pressure on Elway.
So we come to the end of the first quarter here at Mile High Stadium. The Colts have a 3-0 lead over the Broncos. Chandler, I think by taking a quick look at those stats, we could say the Colts have dominated things here.
They really have. You know, they've just been hurt with the penalties they had on those 2 big plays. That kind of thing has hurt them all year. It's the kind of thing that they haven't been able to come back from. They've dominated the time of possession, and they've moved the ball fairly well against Denver so far in that first quarter.
3rd down and 4 from the 26-yard line. John Elway at the controls, trying to get the Broncos untracked. Elway throws. It is complete. Short of the first down, right at the 30-yard line. The catch is made by number 34, Nathan Poole. And right on him was Cliff Odom, the linebacker.
We'll take a look at it here. Cliff Odom, who took over for Johnny Cooks as a starter, they both play a lot. Covered Nathan Poole real well there and kept him from getting the first down.
Luke Prestridge will come on to do the punting. Prestridge, who led the National Football League in '82 with a 45-yard average, punting to Larry Anderson. There's Prestridge.
Denver kind of looks like they're feeling things out a little bit. They haven't really got on track offensively or defensively. We're kind of expecting them to do something here before long.
Larry Anderson comes up at the 29, steps across the 30, and is going the wrong way. He's got a lot of orange around him. Boy, oh boy. A 41-yard punt. And leading the way for the Denver Broncos, Dave Preston, number 46, and number 59, Darren Comio. Timeout here. Dan Reeves, the 9th head coach in Denver's football history. He was a quarterback in the early 60s at South Carolina. Played, of course, for the Dallas Cowboys. Assistant coach under Tom Landry. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line for the Colts. They're leading 3-0. Pitch back comes to Alvin Moore. Moore getting near the 30, across the 30 at the 31. Dennis Smith, number 49, made the play. It is Mike Pagel at quarterback. Pagel has been intercepted once every 19 passes this season. 15 interceptions and 288 passes. There's that Washington-Dallas score again. John Elway's been intercepted once every 18 passes. Rams leading. San Diego on top of Kansas City, and the Raiders doing it to St. Louis. And this ball was batted along the line of scrimmage. Looked like it was intended for Bernard Henry, number 88. And number 72, Don Latimer, appeared to get a hand up and batted away. You mentioned, Bob, that the Broncos seem to be a bit lethargic after that, or in that first period. They're trying, I think, the defense right now to get things fired up a little bit, make some things happen.
We're going to see
Latimer.
There's Latimer batting the ball. You know what Pagel did? He had a play action, but he didn't really get back. He at least got to get 3 yards back. He faked the play action and was right up on the line of scrimmage, which made Latimer's job much easier there, deflecting that ball.
Dickey and McMillan are in the backfield, 3rd and 6 from the 32-yard line. McMillan to the outside at the 40. Penalty marker goes down. McMillan is all the way down to the Denver 45, but they may bring it back. And now a little battle on the field. Tom Jackson is into it with Chris Hinton. They're separated very quickly.
Jay, we're talking about Denver being lethargic. That's the kind of thing they need. Tom Jackson knows it when they're lethargic. He's their inspirational player. A little skirmish like that with Hinton is the kind of thing that might fire up a team like Denver.
And, of course, Hinton, number 75 of the Baltimore Colts, was the 4th player in the draft involved in the Elway deal, an All-American at Northwestern.
Offense. Holding. 3rd down.
I'm sure Gradishar knew that when he picked him out to throw a couple punches there. Tom Jackson.
A holding call puts the ball back at the 27-yard line. Dickey and McMillan in the backfield, 3rd and 11 from the 27. Pagel over the middle, and it is complete. That's Bernard Henry. Henry's all the way to the 44-yard line, and a first down for the Baltimore Colts. Dennis Smith, the strong safety, made the tackle, and Pagel really put that ball on target.
We're going to see that same half roll by Pagel, and he's throwing back across the field. Bernard Henry runs an in at about 20 yards. Beats Mike Harden, runs a real good route, makes the catch, and picks up the first down.
Hinton now has gone out of the lineup for the Colts, and Ben Utt, number 64, comes in to play left guard. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. 12:26 to go in the first half. Colts leading 3-0. Newton Williams, number 39, in the backfield with Moore, and he got near the 40-yard line. And underneath the pile, number 75, Rulon Jones, Randy Gradishar, and 65, Walt Boyer. Boyer's now playing the left end position for Chavis. He's number 65. Second down and 7. The Colts are leading on a 42-yard field goal by Raul Alegre, his 25th of the season. Little problem on the handoff to Newton Williams, and he got only a yard as Jim Ryan, the linebacker, number 50, wrapped him up. Field goal by Raul Alegre set the new club record for the Colts, 25. 3-0 Baltimore. And look at Frank Cush, the head man of the Colts. Pagel comes the other way, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted, almost picked off by Louis Wright. Oh boy, Louis. I know felt he should have had that one, and I guess he should have.
I think that surprised Louis. It's actually a real good throw here by Pagel. He hits Sherwin coming across the middle. They're throwing back across the grain a lot so far. Hits him right in the chest. Tries to make a chest catch rather than grab it in the hands, which is tough to do sometimes. It's always better if you're not in traffic to try and catch the ball in your hands. He dropped it there, and Louis Wright almost came up with the interception.
Alegre is going to try a 56-yard field goal. Raul Alegre from 56 yards out. And it is good. Made it with no problem. 56-yarder, and that is the longest of his career. Earlier, he had kicked 2 of 52 yards.
Yeah, he made that one with 10 yards to spare.
Isn't he something? Raul Alegre from Texas. We'll watch again with Ron Stark holding here in Denver with 10:55 to play in the first half. The Colts lead it 6-0. Right to Doug Cosby. Washington 14, Dallas 7. There in the final minute of the first period. Here it is 6-0 the Colts. Alegre kicks off, and in the end zone it'll be down by Zach Thomas, and Denver will take it at their own 20-yard line. The Bronco fans, a sellout crowd of more than 75,000, starting to cheer the offense on here and get them going a little bit.
That's exactly what they have to do, Jay, is get going. You know, I look for John Elway to start testing that suspect, at least it's been suspect, Baltimore secondary. They played very well last week, led by Tate Randall, but they still are a weak spot in that defense, and we look for them to start getting the ball downfield a little bit.
That's Sampson going in motion. Pitch back coming to Winder, and there's nothing there. They strung it out very nicely, and Greg Braceland, 52, the linebacker, making the play, and the folks here are a little critical of the play calling. Braceland, who made the play, was originally a Denver number 8 draft pick back in 1980. Lost back to the 14-yard line, or the 17-yard line, excuse me. I was right the first time. It's all the way back to the 14-yard line. Elway straight back, sets up, in trouble, and down he goes, and now a penalty marker is down also. Cliff Odom, number 49, flying in there to make the play back inside the 2-yard line. But a penalty marker is down, and we'll wait to see what referee Fred Silva sorts out here.
Offense, number 70. Holding, decline, 3rd down.
Dave Studdard charged for holding. It was declined. He originally was with Baltimore, a free agent who came over with the Denver Broncos. Dave Studdard out of Texas. Now back at tackle. 3rd down, 28 from the 2. Got to be careful down here. 7 defensive backs. Elway out of the shotgun. Elway 10 and out of bounds. Nesby Glasgow ran him out. But Luke Prestridge will have to come in to do the punting as Elway's offense has lacked the spark that it had a week ago.
Baltimore's been pretty impressive so far on defense. They're playing that kind of pressure defense that is so needed. They're trying to attack the pocket and get to Elway. They're bringing more linebackers than they have in the past. They're not playing that kind of conservative, predictable defense that they have so often this year.
Prestridge to punt to Larry Anderson. Broncos don't have a first down yet. The kick is away, and it is a dandy. All the way back at the 35, Anderson. Got away from one man, looking for help. Down he goes at the 38-yard line. Fine play by Dave Preston, number 46. 53-yard punt, and a good hang time. But the Colts leading 6-0 with 9:44 left in this first half. Will have the ball at the 38-yard line. We'll be back with more NFL action in just a moment. Here at Mile High Stadium, the Colts have the lead 6-0, Mr. Chandler.
Well, it's about time for Denver to get on track, Jay. Like you said, they haven't even had a first down so far today, so we expect them to do something here before long.
Right now, they'll try to stop the Colts, who have a real weapon in Raul Allegre. Pagel, play action on first down, throws wide open at the 45-yard line is Bernard Henry. And he's out of bounds at the 43-yard line. And the Colts look extremely sharp here.
Play action is so effective for Baltimore because they run the ball so much. We'll see it here. It gives them ties up those linebackers, makes them respect the run. Came out here, Bernard Henry ran an excellent out pattern, had Mike Harden turned around, made the first down.
Going wide to the right is Porter. Henry goes to the left side. Pagel calls on Dickey. And he loses a couple. Fine play by Dennis Smith, the strong safety. He came up to make the play. A loss of 2 yards on the play. 9:20 to go in this first half. Chris Hinton is back at the left guard spot. It's Hart, Hinton, Donaldson, Wright, and Mason up front. Then Porter wide to the right, Henry set to the left side. Second down and 12. Pagel throwing and completing. Bernard Henry again. Looks like he might have enough for the first down.
We'll take a look at his route here. Just a simple out pattern. Nothing real fancy about it, but what that does, after you've run those a few times in front of a defensive back like Harden or any defensive back, it helps set something up for later in the game, whether it's an out and up, a hook and go. It helps develop your other patterns.
Alvin Moore and Newton Williams are in the backfield. It is a first down at the 32. Moore gets a couple. Busick, Jones, and Gradishar are all there. Number 79, Chavis, back in at left end. Colts with 8 first downs, the Broncos with none. Baltimore leading 6-0 on field goals of 42 and officially 55 yards on that second field goal by Raul Allegre. Pagel swinging it out and a bad throw. The throw came up short of Alvin Moore, and there's a penalty marker down. Pagel, the Colt record we indicated for rushing. He had 382 yards coming into today's game. This penalty will go against Baltimore. Pagel's a very intelligent young man. He has had some trouble reading defenses, but that's not uncommon for young quarterbacks in the National Football League. I imagine Mr. Elway's had his share too. All placed at the 40-yard line.
Number 39, holding, second down.
Newton Williams holding on the play. See Zeke Bartkowski there. He signals in the plays to Pagel. 2nd and 18 from the 40. And it is incomplete. At the 29-yard line, the pass intended for Tracy Porter. And he was out of bounds. They got Porter in a trade from Detroit back in August. Gave up a future draft choice for him. Porter, number 87 there, was a Detroit number 4 pick out of LSU. Third down conversion situation. Colts 4 out of 8. They're facing 3rd and 18. Pagel throws in the middle, and it is complete down to the 25-yard line, short of the first down to Bernard Henry. Henry was hit by Mike Harton. It is not enough for the first down, but it is time once again for Raul Alegre. Alegre now has kicked 26 of 30 field goals.
Jay, I think it's time for Raul anytime they cross the midfield stripe here in here in Denver.
Ball will be placed at the 32, a 42-yarder. He's kicked a 42-yarder and a 55-yarder already. Ron Stark holds. The kick is up, and it is good. And Raul Alegre does it again. The jumping jack from the University of Texas. 7 minutes and 23 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. And the Baltimore Colts have taken a 9-0 lead over the Denver Broncos here at Mile High Stadium.
Back to Jay and Bob.
All right, Len Berman, indeed an important game, but at the moment the Colts lead at 9-0, and the natives a little restless here as Alegre kicks. And the ball is down back there by Steve Wilson in the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line, and once again, the Broncos will try to get something going. They do not have a first down in this first half. Elway is 3 for 5 for 22 yards. They haven't been able to do much running with Winder, establish anything on the ground, and Elway has been a little flighty with his throwing, been a little high on occasion.
Well, you know, you've got to give Baltimore some credit there. They've been pressuring him all through the first and part of this second quarter. They've been able to do that, still covering up downfield, but putting a lot of pressure on Elway.
Elway straight back this time, has time, throws, and it is incomplete. He was going for Clint Sampson, the rookie from San Diego State. Excellent coverage by Burrows, the cornerback, number 45. Burrows has been improving. He's in his second year out of Michigan State.
It's not a bad throw here. Once again, it's a little bit high. Sampson was well covered. They had Watson clearing out the middle, taking it deep. You should never throw over the middle, send a receiver over the middle without somebody clearing it out. Watson did that job, but they couldn't connect with Sampson.
This Baltimore defense playing very tough here in the first half. 2nd down and 10. Single setback. Winder. And timeout is called as Elway took a look. Didn't like what he saw. Is going to come over and talk it over. While he does, we'll take timeout for these messages. Look at the two coaches. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Frank Cush and Dan Reeves, and 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line for John Elway. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes coming into today's game. This throw is high and wide of the intended receiver, Clint Sampson. Randall had the coverage, and Bobby didn't look like he took enough drop there to get comfortable to throw that football.
It's a quick hitting route, Jay, but it's still a 3-step drop by the quarterback. And even though it's a timing route and it's a quick route, paramount for the quarterback is to set up and get his feet planted. He didn't do that there. He tried to rush it a little bit. Sampson was open. John has to be a little bit more patient and let things develop before he lets go of the ball.
3rd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. And Elway coming out of the shotgun this time. And this one is batted away on a fine play by Nesby Glasgow. The pass was intended for Zach Thomas. It was really winged in there, but Glasgow made an excellent play. This Colt defense has just done a dandy job so far.
There's no doubt that John Elway has a potential for greatness. We've seen him. They're going to expect a lot of him after his excellent performance last week, but he's going to have his ups and downs. He's probably weathered some of the tough performance. He's having a tough time getting started this afternoon.
Luke Prestridge to punt. Return to the 49-yard line. Well, Anderson had more nerve than most men. He just stepped up and took that ball. A 35-yard punt. And the play made by Keith Bishop, number 54 of the Denver Broncos. We take a timeout. The 0-0 Baltimore. Pagel using a long count. Little counter play. A handoff going to Dickey. And Dickey's inside the 45. This offensive line's doing a good job today. They gained to the 44-yard line. Number 75, Rulon Jones, was there, along with Steve Busick, number 58.
Denver's had, we'll take a look at it again here. Denver's had all year, the teams have moved the ball well down the field on them. It's kind of that bend but don't break defensive philosophy, but when they get down near the goal line, they've been able to stop them. But they haven't faced a kicker like Raul Olegre so far this year, I don't think.
Wilson, 45, now playing the right corner spot for Harden. This is Dickey going the other way, gets to the outside, has a first down and more, and he's out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Dickey's quickness to the outside showing very, very well. Good blocking. Lewis Wright ran him out of bounds over there, number 20.
We're going to take a look at it here. Watch number 32, McMillan, just leaving the left part of your screen. We're not probably, it doesn't look like we're there right at the end of it. He puts a block on Gradishar. It's amazing to me how effective he is and what a hard worker he is at trying to block for Dickey and then turn around and have to carry the ball himself. That's a tremendous physical effort on his part.
First down. Pagel may have called an audible again using a long count, and it jumped off. He did that a moment ago with some success when they ran the counter play. Looked like Hinton jumped off first. You know, you're talking about Randy McMillan, number 32. Say a word about him in just a moment.
And number 75. Ball start. First down.
The call going against Chris Hinton. Randy McMillan, born in the community of Havre de Grace, Maryland, not far from Baltimore. I remember it well because they used to have a racetrack there.
You never went there, did you?
Havre de Grace. Or Grace, depending on your point of view, if you're a Baltimorean. Pagel on the run and throws incomplete. Tried to get it to Pat Beach, and he was looking right into the sun, couldn't handle it. Let's go to New York, NFL 83.
Thank you, Jay Randolph. Checking out the action in San Diego. Here come the Kansas City Chiefs. Bill Kenny at quarterback. 10-yard pass to Stephon Page. It's now 17-14, San Diego. Back to you, Jay.
All right, thank you, Len. Boy, the San Diego club has been a mystery this year. The injuries, of course. Had one big injury that hurt them so bad to Fouts, but they have been a tough club to figure out. Second down and 15 at the 40. Alvin Moore coming in motion. Pagel throwing long, and it is caught for a touchdown, Bernard Henry. Pagel and Henry hook up, and look at Zeke Bartkowski. Is he happy? Are the Colts happy? And are they stunned here in Denver? 75,000 sitting here rather quietly at the moment.
I don't think I've ever heard it so quiet. Denver brought a blitz. They brought Dennis Smith. They brought two of their linebackers. Ended up with Bernard Henry running one-on-one on Wilson. Ran a corner route. It was an excellent throw by Pagel. He read the blitz, got rid of the ball quickly for the big touchdown.
That's the longest of his career in the touchdown category. Raul Alegre bangs it through. And we have 5 minutes and 55 seconds left to play. Alegre. Another one into the end zone, and it's down there by number 82, Zach Thomas. First down. They went 50 yards in 4 plays. Yet they got to do something to get this offense on track. First down of this game. I might mention out here in Denver. Let's look again at a very fine run by Winder after he got the football.
Well, now's the important time for Denver to do something at the end of this first half so they go in with a little momentum. It means so much to them before they come out and start that second half.
Again, it's out to Winder. And he's out to the 38-yard line. That looked like the same play, except the Colts were blitzing. Good block by Paul Howard over there, number 60, the right guard. Tackle made by Wisniewski, 69, and Parker, 78. A lot of time left in this first half. Clock running with 4 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. The Colts are leading at 16-0. Second down and 2. Coach Dan Reeves. Gerald Wilhite is in the backfield now. Number 47. That's Wilhite. And very close to the first down. Looks like he's got it. Cliff Odom, number 49 on the tackle. Limping off is Wilhite. Looked like he hurt his right leg, or it could be a hamstring pull. So the Broncos have something going. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the first half. Winder and Poole in the backfield. That is Winder, the single setback. Egloff, the tight end, going in motion. Long throw downfield, and it is caught! Watson makes a marvelous catch at the 12. There is a penalty marker down. Penalties against Baltimore. First down, Denver.
I don't think I've seen a receiver make as tough a catches in traffic as Watson has made over the last few years. This is his second. This guy can't be that good. He's been that good every game since then.
He was honored as the Broncos Man of the Year here today. The handoff to Winder. Winder to the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Now they're roaring on every play here. Tackle made by Nesby Glasgow.
We're getting a little cutback here. He bounces off his old man. He saw a hole there that didn't look like there was a hole. Bounced off a couple of Baltimore people. Picked up some good yardage on his own.
Paul Howard, number 60, again doing an excellent job. Second down. 3 for the touchdown, about 2 for a first down. Fumble. Big pile up, and the Colts have it at the 2-yard line. The Colts come away with it. So when the Broncos were knocking at the door, they cough it up. Second turnover charge to Denver. Shape coming up at halftime, NFL 83. We've been bringing you up to date on all the happenings on this 15th weekend of play in the NFL. 1:51 left.
That looked close to being a safety there, Jay.
It was close indeed. Let's remind you, too, that next Saturday night, got a basketball special for you at 11:30 Eastern Time. The Memphis State Tigers, their All-American Keith Lee. They go up against the UCLA Bruins live from Pauley Pavilion. So stay with NBC, of course, next Saturday night and throughout the season for the best in college basketball.
Well, it's hard to see whether they really get him there. You can see that his progress brought him outside of the goal line, and so that's where they marked the ball before they dropped him back behind. Denver's putting everybody up on the line of scrimmage. They're really pressuring them with their defense because they're kind of daring Baltimore to throw during this time.
Septian has kicked a 35-yard field goal, and Dallas has crept back within 4 points of Washington late in the second period. John Elway, 3 out of 8, 22 yards. The big throw a few moments ago, of course, that got them in excellent shape before they fumbled it up was to Steve Watson. Now, here is third down. Ball just inside the 1. Quarterback sneak by Pagel. Gets it out to the 3. A timeout will be called with 1:46 remaining. Now, that's the last timeout for the Broncos.
We can expect to see their 2-minute offense when they come back out on the field. What they've done on the sidelines, Elway probably picked up 2 or 3 plays that they want to go with. He'll get in the huddle. He'll give them 2 plays, possibly 3. Usually they do just 2. They won't huddle. They'll try and get down and get something on the scoreboard before this first half ends.
They missed a golden opportunity to score moments ago, and Glassick ran into the quarterback. Zach Thomas will be the man to return the punt. Ron Stark will be the man to punt the ball for the Baltimore Colts. Stark and Allegre have really done a marvelous job for the Colts.
Well, those are both 2 guys that wouldn't surprise anybody to see them in the Pro Bowl. They both had those kind of years. Stark going into this game was leading the National Football League with a 45.5 average. A great athlete, not just a kicker, was a decathlon man in school. They say he can do a lot of different things.
Right now, he's got to get it away quickly. Backed up on the end line. Zach Thomas downfield. And he booms it out of there. It's a dandy. Thomas all the way back to the 30. Turns and comes upfield at the 40. At the 45. Gets to the 49-yard line. And Denver has a minute and a half to operate. A 64-yard punt when he needed it. Stark really came through. Ricky Jones for Baltimore made the tackle.
The extension on the leg that he has is tremendous. The flexibility and the strength that some of these kickers have in the league nowadays is amazing.
Will Hyde, 47, and Preston, 46, are in the lineup. Elway's going to operate from the shotgun. They're out of timeouts. Elway over the middle, batted by number 56. Vernon Maxwell, the linebacker, just got a hand on it.
Trying to go to Dave Preston there. Vernon Maxwell made a great play. Preston was open.
Some scores. New England and the Rams 7-7. San Diego leads Kansas City. And the Cardinals have come back against the Raiders. We'll bring you up to date at halftime on all the activity. They're calling Stark's punt a moment ago. A 68-yarder, the longest of his career. 2nd and 10. Anderson puts the clamps on Wilhite. Clock is running now with 1:15 left to go in this first half. Elway out of the shotgun again without a huddle. They're spread out for him. Down he goes. And coming in to make the play was Henry Waxter. Waxter, who played at Nebraska, an extra man up on the line of scrimmage as they're coming after Elway. 58 seconds left to go, second down and 19. Elway throws it away to stop the clock. And they'll have time to talk it over and see if they can get a big play, something going. They are shut out at the moment, 16-0.
Well, Denver is continuing the kind of, Baltimore is continuing the kind of pressure that they've been putting on Elway all afternoon. They're using a four-man line now to try and add a little heat to that rush, but they're not sitting back as a defensive secondary and just hoping they won't score. They're blitzing their linebackers, and they're using a lot of man-to-man coverage in that secondary.
Well, of course, earlier in the year, and the Baltimore fans will remember, it was not a very warm welcome for Mr. Elway when he went to Baltimore. And Elway started that game, was 9 of 21 for 106 yards, but it was DeBerg who won it on a touchdown with 29 seconds left. Now it's 3rd and 19. Elway goes down all the way back at the 37-yard line, the 3rd sack for the Baltimore Colts. I'll tell you, when they decide to come, they make it happen.
Well, that time, Greg Braceland, as we see him here, number 52, applied the pressure. He wasn't dropped back off into the pass coverage. You'll see him in the middle of your screen there on a blitz. He gets a little tied up, then forces Elway out of the pocket and makes the tackle for the sack.
Braceland, of course, again, I'll mention, a former Denver Bronco.
Spent a short time with the Raiders. He was on their team the year they won the Super Bowl. As a great special teams player, but has really found his niche in Baltimore, and they feel has been one of the most consistent defensive players they've had all year.
He's been starting since Cooks was moved inside, his second year at Baltimore. Prestridge will punt, and now a whistle, and they're going to take a penalty for delay of the game. Colts got... Larry Anderson is downfield. And a floater. Anderson battling the sun a little bit, lets it hit. And it is going to be down at the 34-yard line. 7 seconds remaining to be played.
Time to come out and play with a little bit more emotion and get some things happening for him.
Hagel, look here, he's going for the bomb, and it is incomplete. And it was Terry Porter who wanted a call, Tracy Porter, I should say, who wanted a call. He was covered by Steve Wilson.
Jay, they just heard me say that, so they went against what I was going to say. They tried to make me be a liar here, and they went for the bomb. I love to see that. That accomplishes a lot. Even though they weren't successful on it, it shows them that they're not content with a 16-point lead. They're 17-point lead. They're going to go for it.
All right. That's the end of the first half. 16-0, Baltimore.
Because they were nervous. They knew this was a big game. They had to win it. And he said he is surprised and has no answer for the way they performed so far this first half.
Well, we're going to play a whole game, so here we go into the second half. Allegre kicks off, Wilson and Thomas, and it is Wilson. He's coming out, gets to the 20, and to the 24, maybe the 25-yard line. Sanders Shiver, who does a fine job for the Colts on the specialty units, made the tackle. Ball just short of the 25-yard line, and John Elway comes on to lead the offense. Winder 23 and Poole 34 in the backfield with him. Watson, Sampson, Egloff, the receivers. Bryan with Bishop and Howard, Studdard and Lanier. Down 16-0. The Broncos start offensively in the second half. Elway on first down, has time, and he throws complete. And at the 35-yard line, Clint Sampson, number 84, made the catch. The tackle made by James Burrows, number 45. And it's a first down. The Colts have Thompson and Parker at the ends. Odom, Kraus, Maxwell, and Braceland at the linebacker spots. Wisniewski's the nose tackle. Burrows and Randall, Anderson and Glasgow in the secondary. Opening moment of the third quarter here at Mile High Stadium. single setback. In motion, Watson. Play action. Elway throws, and it's complete to Egloff, the tight end. Egloff gets it to about the 40-yard line and is shaken up on the play. He's having his finest year ever. The 7-year man from Wisconsin had only 10 receptions last year, had 18 coming into today's game. Egloff shaken up. Steve Antonopoulos, the trainer, attending to him as we look again at this play.
We'll take a look at him here. Egloff had an interesting comment in the paper this week. He said he has a burst of slow. They get on him about his speed, but he said it's better to deceive than to receive. And that's what he does, and that's the position they have him playing. He's in motion a lot. He switches sides. He does a little bit of everything. He acts like a running back with his blocking, lead blocking, and has caught the ball effectively this year when they've thrown to him.
John Sawyer, number 83, takes over for him. Wilhite and Poole in the backfield. The quick throw is incomplete as it bounced up off the hands of Wilhite. And Wilhite had Larry Anderson closing on him quickly.
They'll use Wilhite in that way occasionally. They'll split him out as a wide receiver to give him a 3-wide receiver look. They say he runs excellent patterns and catches the ball very well.
3rd down and 5 at the 40-yard line. Colts are leading 16-0. Number 47, Wilhite. See him come out. He's in the backfield now with Poole. 2 wide receivers set to the far side. Elway throws, and it is dropped. Wilhite had the first down at the 46-yard line, dropped the ball. Coverage by number 34, Jeff Delaney, the extra defensive back, in there for the Colts.
It was a catchable ball, and he did one thing right. He got the first down yardage. He had that, so all he had to do was hang on to the ball. He couldn't do it. Denver's going to have to give it up again.
Luke Prestridge, 43.8 average on 5 punts today. Larry Anderson is downfield. A wobbly kick. Anderson comes up, takes it at the 25, at the 30. 35, trying to get outside, and almost did. He got to the 39-yard line. Dumped over there by Nathan Poole, number 34. So the Colts, leading 16-0, have the football. They're going to get it at their own 39-yard line. As we look again at this return, we'll take a timeout. Will open your eyes and buy Visa cards and traveler's checks. You can do it, and we'd like to help. Along with Bob Chandler, this is Jay Randolph at Mile High Stadium in Denver. 13:06 to play in the 3rd quarter. Colts leading 16-0. 1st and 10, Baltimore from their own 39-yard line. Again, they try that little counter play, and Dickey has to go back the other way. There's a penalty marker down. Dickey couldn't find anything in the middle. Did some good freelancing. Lewis Wright on the tackle, number 20, along with 7-9, Barney Chavis, and the penalty against the Colts.
You know, I look at some excellent Denver defensive players missing tackles today, and so you have a tendency to think that they're just not fired up about it. We'll listen to the penalty here.
Illegal motion, number 79.
Lindsey Mason, the right tackle. The call went against him.
But in actuality, Jay, you know, I think you got to give Dickey and McMillan a lot of credit. They are 2 fine running backs, and they'll make people miss tackles.
McMillan started today with a 4.1 rushing average. Dickey with a 4.3 rushing average. 1st and 15 now from the 34. Hagel over the middle, wide open is Pat Beach, the tight end, number 81, and they get some of it back up to the 41-yard line. Beach out of Washington State, a 6th-round pick. He'd only caught 2 passes coming into today's game. We'll mention again that Sherwin, although he has seen some action, has a neck injury. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Baltimore may have seen Denver's secondary over the past few weeks really flow with a kind of a roll. So what he's been doing is rolling out and throwing back across the grain most of the afternoon.
And this one is out into the right flat, intended for Randy McMillan. He really didn't have much of a chance to catch it as the ball was too far in front of him. Clock stopped with 12:18 left in the third quarter. Denver sends in number 77, Mecklenburg, the rookie, and also another defensive back, as they'll go to a prevent defense now on 3rd down and 7. 3 wide receivers for the Colts. Porter, Otis, and Henry are in there. Henry to the left, Porter and Otis to the right. Pagel straight back, throws, and it is complete. A fine catch for a first down at the 48-yard line made by Tracy Porter. Pagel and Porter combining for a first down right here.
It starts with excellent protection by the offensive line. You see Hinton, Donaldson looking around to help out. Pagel steps up in the pocket, and Porter sets down in that dead zone there, where they have a little bit of time to make the completion if they get it in.
Wide to the right goes Henry. Beach is back in at tight end as Otis has come out. It is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line of Denver. Colts controlling this game. That's McMillan banging off right tackle down to the 42-yard line. McMillan played at Pittsburgh. His best day this year was 109 yards against Philadelphia. Gradishar 53 and Jackson 57 made the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 4.
This is a different kind of Colts offense, and I think most people are used to seeing this year from them. They're really mixing it up. Also.
And they've held on to the ball, haven't turned it over. It's always a big factor. And certainly it is with a young club. Here is a problem, as the center would just refuse to give that ball back to his quarterback that time, it looked like. Ray Donaldson, what a fine player. He's got a hip pointer, he's got an ankle problem. The big guy from Georgia is hanging out there. Referee Fred Silva discussing the penalty, and we'll step it off back to the 46-yard line.
Offense, ball start, number 18. Will the stadium clock operator please put the clock back to 10:48? We lost 8 seconds.
There, because of this move right here by Pagel, a false start, they will put 8 seconds back on the clock.
Just a little anxious there to get going. And we're looking at 2 of the finest centers in the game with Bryan and Donaldson on both these respective teams today.
It's going to be 2nd down and 9. This big crowd chanting defense, hoping their team can stop the Colts. Pagel throwing, and a fine catch is made by Pat Beach. Very close to a first down. Beach took that ball in at around the 38-yard line. Dennis Smith, 49, and Steve Wilson, 45, with Randy Gradishar, number 53, were all there. And we may get a measurement, or they may be just about a yard shy. Let's take a look. It'll be just about a yard short. Maybe a little less than a yard.
Excellent catch here by Pat Beach. He reaches up, catches the ball in his hands, thrown a little high, comes down with the catch, just short of the first down.
Double tight end alignment. In motion, Sherwin. The handoff goes to McMillan, and he has got the first down, I believe. See where they actually spot that ball. It is a first down. At least it appears to be from here, but they may ask for the chains, and I think they will. We have 9 minutes and 54 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter. And the Colts are shutting out the Broncos 16-0.
Well, we're in three-point range now.
Raul Alegre has had a big day already, and it is a first down. Sent the man in motion to the right side here, Bob, and gave it to number 32, McMillan.
Excellent blocking by the right side of the line. Gave him the opening. It's tough to stop a back for 205-pound back on that short yardage like that.
Roger Jackson, number 28, now at free safety for the Broncos. First and 10 at the 37-yard line. Hagel, play action, steps up. He throws. It is complete. First down. Porter goes to the right side. Henry to the left. Dickey and McMillan in the backfield. 3rd down and 3 from the 9. That's Curtis Dickey, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And we'll get the call for Raul Alegre.
Excellent play by Tom Jackson. When you give it to that far back and you ask him to go across the length of that backfield, it gives a player with Tom Jackson's quickness a chance to catch up from behind, which he did there, and brought Dickey down.
Alegre, who has kicked 3 field goals of 42, 55, and 41, now has what is a chip shot for him.
Maybe this is his weak area, Jay.
I'm not sure he has a weak area. He's a tremendous, tremendous kicker. Ron Stark will hold. The ball will be spotted at the 17. And it is a 27-yard field goal right up the middle.
You know, the only thing we may hope for is that he gets tired jumping up after and running off the field after each field goal. He may wear out before this is over.
Raul Alegre makes it 19-0. His 4th field goal of the afternoon. We'll be back with more from Denver in a moment. Wilson and Thomas are back. Wilson comes out at the 10, the 15, at the 20-yard line. He goes down. Leading the way, number 35, Tate Randall. Number 52, Greg Braceland. There's Alegre's stats today, 13 out of the 19 points. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WMAR TV2 in Baltimore.
Jay Randolph and Bob Chandler at Mile High Stadium, where the Colts at the moment are doing a job on the Broncos. Completed upfield at the 35-yard line. As the pass went to Watson, Tate Randall made the tackle. It'll be a first down. They'll give the forward progress to the 34-yard line. That was a good throw from Elway.
I think we're going to have to see a lot more of this. If Denver wants to get back in this game, Jay, they have to go to Steve Watson more often. They've gone to him twice today for big plays. He is their clutch receiver. With an arm like Elway and the kind of patterns that Watson runs, unless they double him and take him completely out of the picture, they should go to him much more in this second half.
Watson, a free agent find from Temple University. First down from the 34. Elway over the middle, short of his intended receiver, Watson. And they had a blitz coming from the right side. And Elway took a tumble. He got that ball away, but had to rush it a little bit, and it came up short.
Well, that was the reason the ball was underthrown. They ran an interesting route there. They had Clint Sampson coming from the right side, Watson from the left, and they were both running ends. So Elway has to get the ball off quick to one of those two guys before they converge upon each other.
Second down and 10. 6 minutes, 50 seconds left in the third quarter. Sampson goes in motion. The pitch back comes to Winder. And Winder gets to the 35-yard line. Jeff Delaney, number 34, made the tackle for the Baltimore Colts. This Colt defense doing an excellent job.
The Colts defensively playing with a lot of emotion this afternoon. You see the support, they're filling, there's a lot of pursuit. They're gang tackling. They're doing everything a first-place team would be doing at this stage of the season.
Third down and 9. Elway out of the shotgun has got to hurry. Down he goes. The sack for number 98, Johnny Cooks. Cooks, the number 1 draft to go from Mississippi State, and Elway a little disgusted. He was in the shotgun. That's supposed to give him extra time, but Cooks didn't care. A frustrating day so far for Elway and the Broncos. Prestridge to punt. Larry Anderson set to receive. A wobbly kick, and it bounces straight up in the air and comes back the other way. And it's going to be spotted at the 39-yard line. Prestridge, not having one of his better days, a 32-yard punt. 5 minutes, 32 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 19-zip Baltimore. Now, maybe a little smiling. I guess that can be allowed. Coach Cush was very upset with a couple of his players last week who were in a apparently glides near the 50-yard line.
This is getting to be old news, but what made that play go is the lead block here by McMillan. Takes out the penetration, puts him right on its back. And then you see a few extra moves there by Dickey. Some of the finest running you're going to see right there.
Can he run with the football? I'll tell you, he's special.
It's an interesting case there, Jay, in Baltimore with Dickey. He doesn't really open himself up to the press. He doesn't talk to people. It's not, I don't think that he is unhappy about being in Baltimore. He's very suspicious of the press and their intentions as far as he's concerned.
We have a fellow like that who I cover in the summertime with the St. Louis Cardinals, George Hendrick. First down.
And it's too bad because a player like Dickey can do. Here we'll take a look at the Washington 21-10 over Dallas in the third quarter.
Theismann to Art Monk for a 43-yard pass. They have 5 minutes left in the third quarter in that one.
I was going to say a player as great as Dickey could do so much for himself by figuring out somehow to have a relationship with the press and become a little bit more well-known.
Problem with the snap again. That's the second time that's happened in this period. And it'll cost the Colts.
They may be trying to change their cadence a little bit. Teams get into a pattern. Teams get into a pattern of doing things on the first snap or the first hut, they call it. So they try to alter that cadence a little bit, whether they go on the third hut. It's hut, hut, hut. They change it around, and sometimes it fools the quarterback himself, and if he's not used to doing it a lot.
New England leading the Rams, and San Diego leading Kansas City. Hagel's in trouble, and he goes down. His knee hit at the 39-yard line. That's the first sack for Denver today.
That's their inspirational player right there, Tom Jackson. He's been given that award the last 2 years in a row here in Denver. He's the one that Louis Wright says is the most valuable player on that defensive unit. Randy Gradishar leads by his play and his performance on the field, whereas Jackson does that, but also has a way of firing up that defense.
Second down, 21 from the 39-yard line. That's Curtis Dickey, and he gets a few back. Up to the 43-yard line where Busick 58 and Chavis 79 make the play. Dickey, the all-time leading rusher at Texas A&M. He's fifth as the all-time leading rusher in the Colts book. 2,731 yards coming into today's game and tacked 46 on.
He just needs 80 yards. Needs 80 yards today to go over the 1,000-yard mark for this season.
Clock running with 3:50 remaining in the third quarter. 19-0 Baltimore. Surprising game here in Denver. Hagel over the middle, the throw low as he was trying to get it into the middle to Tracy Porter. Gradishar got a hand on it. Number 53, there's Randy. This is his last regular season game. He's retiring. Last regular season game at home, I should say, because, of course, next Sunday, the Broncos will play the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium.
Thanks for 10 great years, Randy. He's probably the most popular player here in this Denver area. And they may try and talk him out of it next year for retiring.
Into the end zone goes the punt from Ron Stark, and Denver will start from the 20-yard line. Stark boomed another one here, 57 yards. 3 minutes, 24 seconds left in the third quarter. Baltimore 19, Denver nothing.
When you run a small business.
But look, if we sent one out, family portrait, but this is a surprising show by the Colts today.
Oh, it is. I think that Denver, even at this stage of the game, is still shell-shocked, Jay. They can't believe what's happening to them, and they're just trying to get uncorked here and get something going.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Up the near sideline, complete. A fine catch is made by Watson.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do. They've said it once, but they're going to have to go to Steve Watson as much as they can this afternoon. They're running out of time. What he's trying to do here, that little look back, he's trying to make the defensive back, Burrows, number 45, think that he's going up. As soon as Burrows turned his feet inside, Watson broke out, picked up the first down.
19-0. 3 touchdowns. Not out of the realm of possibility for these Broncos if they get hot. Elway going long, and it is incomplete. Sampson was down there, but he was double-teamed. Burrows, the man that batted the ball away from him. Also, Nesby Glasgow was back there, the free safety. He was playing center field and on the run.
Actually, it was an excellent attempt by Sampson, as we'll see here.
Penalty marker down.
To go up and make attempt at getting the ball. Comes back at it here and jumps well. Almost catches it. He's about 4 feet off the ground there.
Oh, they step off a penalty now against Baltimore. Let's listen to referee Fred Silva.
Defense, illegal contact, number 35, first down.
Tate Randall, the second-year man at cornerback, called for the infraction. He was at Miami in '82 with the Oilers the first 3 games of this season. Came over, took over. Of course, they let Derek Hatchett go. Elway's 11 of 22. First and 10 at the 44. Elway is really on the run, and he throws, and it's complete. Out of bounds. The catch was made at midfield by Watson, but the official right on the line, Bob Beeks, the line judge, ruled out of bounds.
Too bad he doesn't have a chance to get his feet down here. He does what all receivers should do when a quarterback's in trouble. Steve broke off his route and came back to the quarterback. Almost allowed him to get the completion.
And 1 foot was out of bounds. Good call. Second down and 10. 2 minutes, 26 seconds left to play in the third quarter. The Colts got 3 in the first, 13 in the second, have 3 here in the third to lead it 19-0. Out of the shotgun, John Elway. It is complete, and a very fine play by Will Height. Will Height dropped the ball earlier in this second half, but the young fella from San Jose State made a big play there. Bracelet on the tackle, but a fine effort by Will Height. The ball underthrown, he made the catch, and then scrambled for the first down.
He comes from a wing position, puts on a good cut here to get rid of Greg Bracelet. Bracelet falls down, number 52. Will Height more than makes up for the drop earlier in the game and picks up the first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line. 1 minute, 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Broncos trying desperately to get on the board here. Elway has time. Better hurry now. On the run. Penalty marker down. And the catch made by Watson, but again he was out of bounds. Now a penalty marker is down back upfield. Elway had a lot of time. Then all of a sudden, one of the Colts closed on him from behind. We'll see what the call is. That is Bob Beeks on the right. And it's against Baltimore. Things starting to go the Broncos' way. 1.5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Steve Watson made another excellent catch there, and I'm not so sure he was out of bounds. We'll listen to the call here.
Defense, number 52. Illegal hands to the face. 5 yards. First down.
First down. The call went against Greg Braceland.
Take a look at it there. That is as close as you can be to being in bounds. It was an excellent attempt on his part to stay in.
Wisniewski out of the game with an injured shoulder, we understand, for the Colts. Quentin Ballard in there. 1st and 10 at the 37. Elway throws. And a marvelous catch. Oh, what a beautiful catch by Steve Watson. First down at the 12-yard line. Odom and Randall were there. Uh-oh, penalty marker down back upfield. And it's in the area where we might get a holding call against Denver. Well, we're going to show you a really marvelous effort by Watson, but they'll be bringing it back.
Offense, number 70. Holding.
Dave Studdard, the left tackle. Former Baltimore Colt, charged with holding. There's Studdard, played at Texas. In his 5th year, a free agent. Now it'll be 1st and 20 back at the 47. 1 minute and 21 left to go in the third quarter. 19-0 Baltimore. And a little shovel in underneath to Miles. Penalty marker down as Miles got all the way down to the 23-yard line. But we've got a penalty marker back upfield, and it's going to be holding against Denver. Saw John Elway look to the sidelines to his coach, Dan Reeves, and say, well, we're going back again.
Offense, number 60.
Well-designed play right here.
It's a great call. You can only have the wind taken out of you so many times. In Denver, it keeps happening to them. They've got to keep coming back. Try and get something on the board here as soon as possible.
The ball is back at the 43-yard line, and they're facing 1st down and 30. Now, you try not to get it all back in one play, I wouldn't think, but Elway is going to the shotgun. You just try to see if you couldn't pick it up in 3 plays. Over the middle, Elway complete. And at the 40-yard line, they got a big chunk back. Zach Thomas, the rookie, makes his 9th catch of the season, and it's a big one. Tackle made by Tate Randall, number 35.
Elway had a little bit more time to throw there because Baltimore is dropping more people back into their pass coverage and only rushing with 3 or sometimes 4 defensive linemen. They dropped all their linebackers back, which makes it tougher to throw downfield, but at least it gives Elway the time to throw.
19-0, the Colts lead. 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Again out of the shotgun, 2nd and 13. Catch made by Miles as Elway was able to beat the blitz. The Colts are saying that one of the Broncos was offside. Miles, you see the receptions for him in 83. He got down to the 36-yard line. Now they're going to place it at the 34-yard line. So they're going to face 3rd and 7.
Well, Baltimore brought everybody that time. They brought all their 3 linebackers and the 4 defensive front men. Elway reads it. He saw the blitz coming, dumps it off as quick as he can. It's an excellent play on his part.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. The score is the Baltimore Colts 19, the Denver Broncos nothing. And we'll be right back to Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado, after this message from your local station. 4-19, Denver nothing. We go to the fourth quarter. Denver facing 3rd and 7 from the 34-yard line. Sampson to the right side, Watson to the left. John Elway calling signals, shotgun formation. Elway fumbles. Baltimore picks it up. Nesby Glasgow. And that ends an opportunity, maybe. There is a penalty marker way downfield. And it looks like it might go against the Colts. Penalty against Baltimore. This is a big break. Elway limping off. Elway was in a peck of trouble here, Bob.
This is what they've done so successfully this afternoon, is put this kind of pressure on Elway.
Let's listen to the call here.
Illegal contact. Number 34. Illegal contact. Number 34, when a quarterback was in the pocket, even though he didn't pass the ball, it's a foul and it's a first down.
The call is against Delaney. The new quarterback is Gary Kubiak, the rookie, 8th-round draft choice, Texas A&M. He's 10 of 18, 165 yards, thrown a touchdown, thrown an interception. Steve DeBerg, of course, is injured, so it is the Aggie, Kubiak.
You talk about being cold. He hasn't thrown a ball for over 20, 30 minutes here, has not picked up a ball, didn't get a chance to warm up here.
Well, he throws and overthrows his intended receiver, Nathan Poole.
I think we'll see John Elway come back in here.
Right now, let's go to New York. An update, NFL 83.
Thank you, Jay. In Anaheim, here goes Mosi Tutupu for the Patriots. Coming into today, he had 1 touchdown. For the year, this is his 3rd touchdown for the day. 21-7 Patriots over the Rams. Back to Denver.
Here in Denver, it is 19-0. Baltimore, 2nd down and 10. Denver at the 28-yard line with Kubiak now at quarterback and out of the shotgun. And he runs what looked like a design play, a quarterback draw from the shotgun.
I think that's probably why they kept Kubiak in there for that second play rather than bring Elway back. They wanted to try that quarterback draw to see what they could do with it.
Kubiak comes out, Elway comes back. To mixed reviews at this point from this big crowd of better than 75,000. And it is 3rd down and 6 from the 24.
He twisted his knee a little bit on when he was sacked, but it appears they checked it out on the sidelines, and I think everything's okay.
Elway throwing and incomplete. Pass a little short. Intended.
Stage here, Jay, where they have to go for it. They've got to try, and 3 points isn't going to help them too much here. 3 touchdowns puts them in the lead in this game, so even with 4th and 6, rather than pick up the 3, they've got to go for the touchdown.
Wide to the right. Goes Watson. Out of the shotgun. Elway throwing and incomplete, almost intercepted. Greg Braceland, number 52, had his hands on it. I don't know who Elway was trying to go to, but there was not a Bronco in the vicinity. And John's upset, and we'll take a timeout. 13:54 remaining to be played. 19-0. Baltimore leads Denver. Houston, a winner over Cleveland today. San Francisco defeated Buffalo. Some more finals for you. Chicago over Minnesota. Cincinnati defeated Detroit. Seattle over the Giants. And New Orleans defeated Philadelphia in overtime. First and 10 from the 24-yard line for the Colts. Hagel handing it off. And that's McMillan, and there's nothing there for him. Let's go to New York now and check in again with NFL 83.
Thank you, Jay Randolph. In San Diego, late third quarter, Ed Luther at quarterback. Dan Fouts has been hurt again. Look how wide open Wes Chandler is for the touchdown. It's 38-24, San Diego. Good move by Chandler. Let's go back to Denver.
Well, I'm working with a Chandler here. Wes Chandler's a dandy, isn't he? So were you, Bob Chandler.
Thank you, Jay.
Second down and 9 at the 25. Hagel pitching it back to Dickey. Dickey to the outside. Penalty markers are down. Dickey steps out of bounds up at the 34-yard line. Stops the clock with 13:08 to play. The indication is that the call will go against the Colts. Holding. Kubiak now loosening up on the sidelines. We saw him in the game just for a few moments. Now they checked Elway's knee out, but we might see him.
Offense, holding.
Washington 21-10 over Dallas in the fourth quarter. Look at New England now, leading at 21-7 over the Rams in the fourth quarter. That update we got just moments ago, that San Diego score, 38-24. Here it is 19-0.
That was St. Louis 34-24 over the Raiders, Jay.
Colts may have moved, yep. Number 53, Gradishar, was coming, and he forced one of the Colts to make a move before the ball was snapped.
In fact, you know, it almost could have been the other way around. He may not have been coming.
Ball start. Quarterback, number 18.
He may not have been coming, but he saw the quarterback make a little move away from the center, Pagel, and came. A veteran player, he'll do that. He knows what's happening out on the field at all times.
Colts don't have a turnover. They have the lead, 19-0. They're nearing the 13-minute mark left to play as the shadows begin to engulf Mile High Stadium in the city of Denver. Dickey brought down at the 12-yard line. Fine play by Jim Ryan. Ryan, the free agent linebacker on the left side from William & Mary. There he is, number 50. Second year as a starter. Well, it'll be third down and 21 from the 13-yard line. 12 minutes and 40 seconds left to play. 19-0 Baltimore. Hagel, he's had a very fine day. See if he's going to put it up here on third and long. Rolling out. Comes back and goes down. Fumble. And the ball belongs to Baltimore. They had blown the play dead before the ball squirted out. Arnie Chavis on the tackle, so the Colts will have to punt with 12 minutes remaining in this game. And Pagel gets up very slowly.
Like we said, they couldn't have a better guy punting for him down deep in these kind of situations than Ron Stark. So far, his average today, and he's vying for the lead in the National Football League. Today, he's averaging 50.5 yards on all his kicks.
There's his average. Thomas is downfield. Thomas, fair catch at the 46-yard line.
One of the reasons he probably fair caught that ball was Denver went after the block. When they go after the block, you don't have a lot of men downfield to help block for the receiver, Zach Thomas.
19-0. Baltimore leads Denver. 11:25 left to play in regulation time.
Your Chevy dealer.
The official U.S. cars and trucks of the 14th winter game. Chevrolet and you taking charge. By Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, the Brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. and by a tool for modern times, the IBM personal computer. Inside the 12-minute mark, 11:25 to play. Bob Chandler and Jay Randolph with you from Mile High Stadium in Denver, where Baltimore leads 19-0.
Denver knows it's now or never. They've taken out their tight end, Egloff. They put in Zach Thomas. They put in Gerald Wilhite, another fine receiver out of the backfield. Potentially 5 receivers going downfield.
And this ball is batted down. They were trying to get it to number 84, Sampson. As the Colts know what's going on, too, Bob. They have the prevent defense out there.
John really never gets back quite far enough here. Even though it's a deep drop, he's only back about 5 yards. The normal deep drop takes a quarterback 7 yards, and then if he has to, he steps forward.
That was Steve Parker, the rookie free agent. Parker getting his mitts on it. 2nd down and 10. At the 35, down to the 30, still going, and down to the 22-yard line. Tim Anderson, one of the extra defensive backs, made the tackle. Well, Mr. Chandler, that was a very interesting call right there.
This is an excellent call. They do a little counter, fake the sweep to the right. Elway comes out on a naked roll and hits Miles with just a short little dump pass. He does the rest on his own. It's important here for all the Denver players, as they catch the ball and they're moving downfield, is try and get out of bounds now and start conserving the time.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Going wide to the right is Watson. Elway throwing and incomplete. Zach Thomas, the intended receiver. And he had a catchable ball there, but couldn't come up with it. The coverage by Glasgow. Washington now leading 28-10 as John Riggins has scored his 2nd touchdown of the day. And they have 11 minutes left in the 4th quarter. And the Redskins in that big game to get the home field advantage are looking good. Elway, 15 of 30, 217 yards. He's been sacked 4 times. He's facing 2nd down and 10 at the 21. Just as he threw the pass, couldn't get anything on it. Oh, these Colts have done a job today on defense.
Well, they've had 4 sacks, as you just mentioned, Jay. And, you know, coming into this game, they had only 2 sacks in their last 3 games. So they've really come on strong today. They're playing that kind of pressure defense and attacking the pocket that they needed to do to be effective against Elway and the Broncos this afternoon.
And now Denver faces 3rd down and 10. So often today, when it's looked like they've been able to go and move, they have been stalled on a situation just like this. Watson going in motion. Elway throwing and touchdown. Waiting for the call. Yes, there it is. The officials wanted to check along the sideline. Clint Sampson, touchdown, and the shutout is over.
It's a corner route by Sampson. That means he takes it to the post and then back out to the corner of the end zone. Elway gets the time, lays it out in the corner, and what we see here is a young receiver that just puts on the afterburners and gets to the ball, gets both feet down. Well, we'll have to take a look at that again.
I'd like to look at that again. I really would. The point after by Rich Carlos is good, and it is 19-7 as Crusher performs. Let's look again. Is it a touchdown or isn't it? Sampson makes the catch.
Looked like one foot to me.
One foot in, Bob. But the score is on the board. Out. But the score is on the board.
He's not going to give it back, Jay.
19-7. Porter is back deep to receive the kick from Carlos. Porter at the 5, at the 10, and he falls down at the 13-yard line. Well, the folks here are fired up. Still a lifetime to play, 10:44. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining, and the folks here will begin to implore the defense to get that football back.
Well, I'd love to say this for our producer, Ron Kershaw. It's not over yet.
All right. Well, I think the folks in Baltimore know it's not over yet. Listen to this crowd. At the top of the show, you played here. Pagel can't call the signals for this situation.
No, and it wouldn't be smart if he got up there and tried to. The officials will try and coax him into doing so because they don't want to delay the game continually. But he really, if he can't hear, and his outside receivers and linemen can't hear, he should step back. That's his responsibility, and that's his prerogative in this kind of a situation.
75,000 plus sold out. You're right on top of the play here. There's not a bad seat in the house. And when they start rolling, boy, it's something. Now the Broncos are asking for quiet. 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Fred Silva's going to make an announcement, I think. He's going to come over and indicate, and the public address announcer makes the announcement here. They make the announcement, and we get a bigger roar than we had before.
Well, I think it's going to be pretty tough to quiet this crowd down.
Now Dan Reeves has stepped out onto the field, and he is asking for quiet. Coach Reeves is asking for quiet. But I'm not sure very many are buying it here.
Well, they can eventually assess a penalty on Denver for delay of game if the fans don't at least cooperate to a certain extent, at least to give Pagel enough silence so he can hear what's happening out there.
They'll try again. 1st and 10 from the 13. Pagel hands it off, and that is Curtis Dickey. And Dickey gets out to the 19-yard line. Stop made by Louis Wright, number 20. Barney Chavis also in there on the tackle. Gain of about 5 on the play. 10 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this game. 19-7, Baltimore. Pagel gives it off to Dickey, and he is stopped short of a 1st down. He gets to about the 23-yard line.
Well, we've seen such great effort by Dickey today. We can't count the number of tackles that he's broken. Great individual effort all afternoon.
I said he was short of the 1st down. I may have spoken a bit too soon. Let's see. They're going to measure. It's a 1st down. And now they start chanting defense, defense. That's a big 1st down as we're inside the 10-minute mark. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line now. The clock running with 9:50 left to go. They're standing up and sitting down in unison around the stadium. There you can get an idea. This crowd trying to get something going for their Broncos. And the Colts leading 19-7. A busted play. Pagel goes down.
looked like almost that Mike Pagel was wrong on that. Both his backs were moving in toward the right side. They looked at each other, wondered what happened, what the miscue was. We'll see it here. Both of them start to the right. Pagel has nobody to hand the ball to. Whether it was a play-action pass or not, I feel more like that he just turned the wrong way, and the miscue was with Mike Pagel.
Gradishar and Jackson made the tackle. Second down from the 24. Dickey needs 21 yards for 1,000 on the year. Pagel on the run. And down he goes. Tempers flare. This crowd on its feet. Coming in to make the play was Tom Jackson. We've talked about the inspirational player that he is. The Broncos getting their second sack. The clock running now with 8:45 to play.
Tom Jackson not only making the play, but tries to do a little intimidating to the Baltimore players. Steve Wright didn't buy it, came back, and that's when they exchanged a few punches there right after the play. But an excellent play by Tom Jackson, sacking Mike Pagel.
Third down and 20. Back at the 14. Penalty marker down. Pagel on the run. Pagel out across the 25, short of a first down. As we indicated, there is a marker down. Referee Fred Silva and his crew will discuss it. Clock shows 8 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. Holding against Denver. And this will bring it all the way out to the 40-yard line.
Defense number 79, personal foul, head swap, first down.
It is 19-7. They're not far away from Raul Alegre's range. A field goal would mean that 2 touchdowns could not win it.
Very much changed the complexion of this game.
The Colts with first and 10 now out at the 40. Pagel and these Colts have hung in here all afternoon. Curtis Dickey out to the 43-yard line. Clock running down to 8 minutes left in regulation time. The ends, Shavas 79 and Jones 75 on the tackle. Mike Pagel and the Colts taking a lot of time off the 30-second clock on every play. As you see, 7:45 remaining. Let this clock run down to 8, 7, 5, 4, 3. Ooh, what a hit. Oh, my. Randy McMillan was shocked by Tommy Jackson. Jackson, number 57, met him head on. Jackson out of Louisville. His 11th season here. He has made some plays over the years.
Well, we'll watch him shoot the gap right there. Hit McMillan before he could ever get a head of steam going. Puts him down behind the line of scrimmage. That's the kind of plays they need here from Jackson. It keeps everybody fired up, and they want to keep this level of intensity if they can get back into this ballgame.
Third down and 7 at the 43. 6:50 left to play in regulation time. Pagel throwing downfield, and it is Wright. Wright coming up the sideline. Back across the middle. And down to the 43-yard line. Wright having his best year, his 6th interception.
He's one of the great ones. They have stayed away from him most of the afternoon. They decided to try him that time, and he comes up with an interception. This is Victor Otis. He can fly. But they forget Louis Wright can also run with the best of them. Comes up with the interception. They have stayed away from him, like, as I said, most of the afternoon. He almost breaks this one here. Brings it back and puts Denver in good field position.
17th career interception. Elway out of the shotgun. Elway throwing. And almost intercepted. And I'll tell you, John Sawyer, the veteran, did one heck of a job of dislodging that ball from Maxwell, the linebacker over there. Elway tried to force that ball in there, and it was a very tough situation. They almost gave it right back.
Well, Denver came with everybody on that interception. Pagel tried to get rid of it as quick as he could, set it up there for Otis to run under, but instead Louis Wright ran under it.
Elway almost gave it back a moment ago. 2nd and 10 at the 43. Over the middle, complete at the 32-yard line. Catch made by Zach Thomas, the rookie. Tackled by Nesby Glasgow.
We got to see him going to Steve Watson on that particular play. Although he hit Zach Thomas, picked up the needed yardage, Watson was wide open on a corner route. They're covering him short and deep, but as experienced as he is, he ran in between them and was wide open on the corner.
6 minutes to play in the game. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Kim Anderson, number 26, coming up to make the play. Washington, 31-10 in the 4th quarter over the Dallas Cowboys. Big day for Joe Theismann, John Riggins and company.
Although they can't afford the time, it's not a bad idea to keep the ball on the ground occasionally. You have to keep those linebackers honest. If you let them just drop back into those passing zones, it's very difficult to complete anything downfield.
Elway in the shotgun, 2nd and 2 at the 24. Elway pops down on it, comes away with it, on the run. Elway gets out of bounds. Well, that's a fine play. He was in deep trouble, came up with the ball, and to stop the clock with 5:03 remaining. Johnny Cooks was the man in pursuit. Elway showed he can hoof it pretty good.
He did the second best thing he could there, which is get out of bounds and stop the clock. The other thing that he didn't do here that's a real plus is he didn't just throw the ball up in the air for grabs. He knows he can't afford an interception now, so he got out of bounds, stopped the clock, have a chance to regroup a little bit.
3rd down and 4 at the 26-yard line. Sampson goes to the right side. Watson to the left. Miles, the single setback, back there with John Elway in the shotgun. They're coming. They throw it out to Miles, wide open. 20, 10, 5, touchdown! It was a great catch, and then a dandy run by Miles, the rookie out of LSU. That's his first touchdown, I believe, of the season. Great block by Bill Bryan, the center, and this one is far from over. Prestridge will hold. Carlos to attempt the point. 4 minutes and 54 seconds left in regulation time. Mile High Stadium, Denver, Colorado. Baltimore 19. The Denver Broncos 14. We'll be back in a moment.
Your Chevy dealer.
Let's take a look at that touchdown again. A little dump pass out in the right flat to Jesse Miles. What really makes it work is a great block downfield by the center, Bill Bryan.
Carlos will kick off. A short kick, hitting at the 10, picked up by Anderson. Boom, as he hit. Oh, look at this. Dan Woodward number 52 led the way. Everybody standing here at Mile High Stadium. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left. The Colts, who a short time ago were leading 19-0, are now up by only 5.
It took them a long time, but Denver has finally found the intensity that they needed from the beginning of this game. They're hoping that it didn't take them too long, and they still have time to get one more score on the board.
First and 10 from the 12-yard line for Baltimore. The handoff going. Up the near sideline. It's Curtis Dickey. And he quieted the crowd as he ran it all the way to the 40-yard line. Dickey getting outside, showing that excellent speed, and that may have put him over the 1,000 mark.
You just can't say enough about this man's performance today. Every time they've needed him, he's come through, which he does again right here. And as you said, Jay, I think that put him over the 1,000-yard mark for this season.
Dickey going out now to the far side. A ball out at the 40-yard line. First down. Penalty marker goes down. That was Alvin Moore who replaced Dickey. Tackle made by Tom Jackson. Clock shows 4 minutes, 34 seconds remaining to be played. Illegal procedure against the Baltimore Colts. Both the Colts and the Broncos have 3 timeouts remaining.
Offense, false start, right guard. First down.
Call went against Ben Utt. 1,012 yards for Dickey. Frank Cush, the Colts head coach. He's seen this Denver club come back. First and 15 now at the 35. He was wrapped up by Gradishar and number 58, Steve Busick. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WMAR TV2 in Baltimore.
Jay Randolph and Bob Chandler here at Mile High Stadium in Denver. The Broncos trying to pull it out. Colts trying to hold on. 2nd and 11. From behind, a great play made by number 57, Tom Jackson. Jackson made that play against Curtis Dickey. And what a remarkable individual effort it was.
You could see it coming from the line of scrimmage, Jay. Tom Jackson is lined up on the weak side. That means he's away from the tight end and he's uncovered. As soon as the ball was snapped, he was heading toward Dickey, caught him from behind, enabled him to keep him. We'll see it here. You'll see Jackson come in from the right side of your screen, full speed. Gets Dickey before he can break through the hole.
Here's a very big play, 3rd down and 10 from the 40. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to play in regulation time. Down the sidelines, and it is dropped. Dropped by Porter. Bob, if we can look at this again, Lewis Wright had the coverage, but Porter did an excellent job. I thought he might have been called for offensive pass interference down the sideline. He bumped his man, got a jump on him, and had a chance to make a big play.
Hagel threw an excellent ball. Porter had him beat. Louis trying to catch up here. And actually Louis played a part in Porter dropping that ball. He stripped his left hand from him just as he went to make the catch. Excellent recovery by Louis Wright, who was actually beat pretty well on the play.
Ron Stark will do the punting. Zach Thomas is downfield. For the far sideline, not a very good kick. It went out of bounds at the 25. 3 minutes exactly left to play in regulation time. We'll take a timeout. Baltimore leads Denver 19-14. Broncos have the football. They'll operate from their own 25-yard line. 3 minutes remaining. They have all 3 timeouts left. Baltimore leads 19-14. Egloff is back in at tight end, number 85. Will Height and Miles in the backfield with John Elway. He operates from the shotgun. And they give it off to Will Height. He's in all kinds of trouble. Now he may get out of it. Well, he got a couple. Penalty marker down.
What they're going to call there, Jay, I think, is Steve Watson, crack back block. I think he got him in the back.
That's the call. A push in the back. Watson on the crackback. Now Zach Thomas is coming in, bringing in a play to Elway. Tom Glassick comes in. Egloff comes back out.
Offense, number 81, illegal block above the waist.
Nice job by our crew. Director Bob Levy and this great camera crew working here today. And our producer Ron Kershaw.
All that has to happen there is Watson's head has to be in front of the defensive man, and it wasn't quite in the position it should have been. He gets the clip called on it.
Loss is back to the 16. Elway throws quickly out into the flat to Will Height. Will Height gets out of bounds, stopping the clock. Didn't get much, just over the 20-yard line. 2 minutes and 44 seconds remaining to be played. Bishop and Glassick are rotating, bringing in the plays. Glassick comes out. It's going to be second down, 14. Thanks to our spotters, Al King and Ron Talpers. Ray Friedman working our stats. Tom Murray and Bob Rose, our scorekeepers. Elway, 19 of 36. Elway's got a lot of time. He throws, complete. First down at the 39-yard line. On the far sideline, the catch made by Watson. Watson really covered up around that ball, didn't he? Looked like he just wrapped himself around it. Clock is running with 2:20 left.
There's a lot of great receivers in this league, but there are none finer than that man right there, number 81, Steve Watson.
Burrows made the tackle over there, trying to get one play away before the 2-minute mark. Elway steps up and throws, and he was hit just as he got it away. Looked like he was trying to get it to Zach Thomas, and we're going to get the 2-minute warning here, I believe. The clock shows 2:01. Here's Watson isolated on that big catch a moment ago.
He's going to release inside, which he does, then breaks it out. A little stutter step there just freezes the defensive back for a moment. Elway finds him. And what Steve is paramount on most on his mind right then is just, for, like you said, Jay, protecting the ball.
Well, they're going to be able to get one play away before the 2-minute warning. Second and 10 at the 39-yard line. Elway straight back, now on the run, comes out. And out of bounds near midfield. The gain is down to the Colts, 47-yard line. Maxwell, the linebacker, ran Elway out. Boy, the big guy can move, can't he? Elway, 6'3", about 205. The 2-minute warning here at Mile High Stadium in Denver. Now, here comes another one of those fantastic finishes.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 1981, quarterback Richard Todd, his injured ribs ache, has just trailed the Dolphins with time for one more drive. He hits Jerome Barkham. He nails Lamb Jones. Todd is hot and Don Shula knows it. Less than 20 seconds left. Bingo, the game winner to Barkham. Todd completes passes to 7 different receivers, and the Jets win 16-15.
remaining in regulation time. 19-14 Baltimore. Elway's carried the ball 3 times for 23 yards. He's 20 out of 38. 298 yards. We talked at the top of the show, Bob Chandler, about Denver being very much in the playoff picture. A loss today would be tough for them. They'd still be in the picture, but a win, if they could pull it out, would take them a giant step. First and 10 at the 47-yard line. Elway back in the shotgun. The Colts are coming. Elway rolling. He throws. And it is almost intercepted at the 20-yard line. A great effort over there by Jeff Delaney, number 34, to almost come away with that ball. Elway threw that ball about 45 yards on the dead run, going the wrong way.
Sometimes a guy that's as gifted as John Elway will rely a little too much on his physical talents. Not many people in that situation would have tried to throw a ball 60 yards running full speed in the opposite direction, which is tough to do. That's what John tried to do there. Almost ended up with an interception.
Second down and 10. 1 minute and 47 seconds remaining. There's the timeout situation. Elway out to the right side, and carrying that ball is Miles. Miles scored the second touchdown in the game. Burrows made the tackle at the 35, and they're going to take a timeout. Timeout, Denver. 1 minute and 31 seconds left to play. That will leave Denver with 2 timeouts remaining as John Elway, the young Californian, comes over. That defensive unit has played their hearts out today. We talked about the altitude early in the program.
Well, I think that picture describes everything that we said about the altitude. It takes its toll here after a game like that defense has played this afternoon.
One of your old bosses used to bring his team in here under the cover of darkness because he always told me, he said, if you get in late and you play without too much of a problem, you can get them out of town before they realize about the altitude. There's a final. The Redskins defeat Dallas handily today, 31-10.
Well, they've said that before. There's New England over the Rams, 21-7.
And look at this, 38-38, Kansas City, San Diego, fourth quarter. St. Louis pulled it out against the Raiders. This is Elway's first 300-yard game. He has 311 yards. He has 1 minute and 31 seconds. Baltimore up by 5. At the 35-yard line, first and 10 for Denver. Wide to the right goes Watson. Sampson comes to the left side. Elway steps up, throws, it's complete, and headed for out of bounds is Thomas, and he didn't get there. Thomas did not get to the out-of-bounds marker before Nesby Glasgow made the stop. Fine play by Glasgow. The clock is running. 1:10 to go.
Excellent play by Glasgow, keeping him in bounds. He recovered very well after Zach Thomas makes the catch. Kept him in bounds, which is a real plus for Baltimore down here.
1 minute to play. Elway throws it away to stop the clock, 56 seconds. The ball at the 27-yard line. Denver needs the touchdown. Bishop talking there with Elway. It was 19-0 before the Broncos came up with 2 big scores here in the fourth period. Frank Kush looking out at his club. Third down, 2 at the 27. Broncos with 2 timeouts remaining. They fake a run. Elway throws. Dropped! Oh, my. Jeff Miles tried to run with that football before he had it. He would have had the first down. 52 seconds remaining, and now Denver is down to 1 play. 4th and 2 at the 27-yard line of Baltimore. The Colts, they have played their hearts out here today. Led it 19-0. That man's club, Denver, calling a timeout now, even though the clock had stopped. It's an important time coming up, of course. 4th down, 2, and they'll talk it over with John Elway. Again, I want to say thanks to our entire crew here in Denver. Bob, it's always exciting to come to this stadium and see the action here. And the camera work headed up by Bob Levy, and our producer Ron Kershaw has been excellent this afternoon. And we have 52 seconds left as Denver tries to pull it out. Randy Gradishar's last regular season appearance here. And if they can pull it out, it will really set up the playoff possibilities for them. If they don't win it, it puts a real crimp in the situation.
We'll take a look at Zach Thomas here again. It's proved to be a big play. He's doing everything he can to get open. Changes his direction 3 or 4 times, makes the catch, spins the right way, thinking the whole time he's got to get out of bounds, but Nesby Glasgow keeps him from doing that.
4th down and 2. Here we go.
Are they going to run it here, Jay, or do you think they'll risk putting it up in the air?
Well, let's see. Poole and Wilhite in the backfield. They're conventional. Elway straight back.
It's a gutsy call by Dan Reeves. Wilhite, a little swing over the middle. Make sure he catches the ball. That was most important to pick up the first down. Does the rest on his own.
Watch the backflip. I don't know if we'll see it. He gets up. No, we don't see it, but he got up and did a backflip. It would definitely have been rated high by any diving judge. Here's a problem on the point after, and a penalty marker goes down. The pass for Egloff, as they had a problem with the snap. 44 seconds left. Some kind of comeback for these Denver Broncos. Now, referee Silva and his entire crew are discussing this as we look again at the touchdown.
Great effort here by Wilhelm.
Defensive pass interference. Number 25 will have a retry.
We're going to get a retry on the extra point as there was pass interference. Now watch. Do we see? Oh, there it is.
You can't tell me he has a bad hamstring.
I'll tell you. Here's the point after try again after they messed the first one up and tried to pass and had an interference call. It's good. Well, this one is not over. Baltimore has 3 timeouts left. Here it is again from the high board. 21-19. What a comeback by Denver.
Well, we've got a kicker on the other side of the field here who can hit from 60 yards probably in this stadium. They've got 44 seconds to try and get him in the range to do so.
And I'll remind again, 3 timeouts. Elway is 23 out of 43, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he'll be the toast of the town tonight if it stays this way. And so will a couple of unsung gentlemen named Miles and Wilhite.
started this ball game, Miles or Wilhite, but both have contributed greatly to Denver getting back into it and taking the lead.
21 gigantic points for the Broncos. On the return, downfield.
We'll take a look at him here. He decides to come out, whether it's a good decision or not. That's hindsight. Trips over his own man, which is really what caused the poor return. Jay, there was only one guy on that field jumping higher than Wilhite when he made that touchdown, and that was Dan Reeves.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line. Mike Pagel straight back. Pagel throwing and completing out to the 22-yard line. Short of a first down. The pass complete to Bernard Henry and the tackle made by Tom Jackson. It is short of the first down. A timeout stops the clock with 29 seconds remaining. Pagel over there with Zeke Bartkowski. There are the timeouts left.
He's trying to get the ball downfield. Everybody was fairly well covered. Hits Henry out in the flat. Henry tried to get back outside, but they didn't allow him to do so.
Baltimore had 3 field goals and a touchdown. And then another field goal in the second half from Allegre. And then 21 unanswered points for the Broncos. 21-yard pass. Elway to Sampson, 26-yard pass to Miles, 26 yards Elway to Wilhite. 29 seconds remaining to be played. Can the Colts get it in shape for Raul Allegre? 4 field goals for him today.
He doesn't look too worried about it over there.
Second down and 1. Throwing and almost intercepted. The pass was intended for Otis and the coverage Jim Ryan, the linebacker. Clock stopped now with 24 seconds left to play. Third down coming up. Trying to go to 9-6. The Colts, if they lose, it'll be 6-9. Oh, Pagel had Dickey. And if you could have gotten Dickey in the open field there at the 30-yard line, he might have made some magic. But he couldn't hold on as the pass was just a little too far in front of him. Now, just as moments ago, when Denver was down to their last play, it is 4th down and 1 for the Colts. Denver leading 21-19, coming back here in the 4th period. Houston over Cleveland. We'll show you some final scores, but first of all, let's watch this 4th down play. Pagel over the middle, completes it out at the 31-yard line for a first down. That was Porter, and it was Smith on the tackle. Now we have 14 seconds remaining.
We'll take a look at it. Excellent catch by Tracy Porter to pick up the first down. Pagel fired it in there. Didn't have much time. Surrounded by orange jerseys. Picks it up, and they're still alive.
They need, realistically, about 20 yards for Allegre to really have a shot. They are down to 1 timeout left. The Colts have the ball at their own 33-yard line.
They probably have 2 more pass attempts to try and pick up that 20 yards. There's a final, but Houston over Cleveland.
And here is the finals as we run through them very quickly for you, recapping all the action. Seattle beat the Giants today. Seattle's playoff hopes very much alive. New Orleans with a victory in overtime. Washington did a job on Dallas. The Rams, losers to New England. Cardinals defeated the Raiders. Cardinals still have a slim hope for the playoffs. Pagel, and it is caught. And at the 47-yard line, it was Henry, the tackle by Foley, and this one's not over yet. 6 seconds left.
I tell you, this is a great catch by Bernard Henry, but he does one thing that I think he wish he could take back, and that's after he makes the catch, trying to get open, he loses about 5 yards. We'll see him do a little backtracking right there. That 5 yards may prove to be very important here with just 6 seconds left.
Well, there's 6 seconds left as we look again at this play. The Colts are now out of timeouts. And there's a big decision to be made here. Being out of timeouts, you got to run some kind of route to get out of bounds to stop the clock if you don't go with a field goal right here. Gonna go. Here he comes, Raul Alegre. 4 field goals today. 28 on the year, a new club record. Henry, 8 catches, 169 yards. What a game he's had.
This will be 65 yards, his attempted field goal.
They're going to place it down back at the 45. 65 yards. Raul Alegre to win it. It is short. And the game is over. Time expires. And the Denver Broncos come back to win this one 21-19 with 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. Well, Bob Chandler, it took a while to crank Denver up, but they got the job done over a scrappy bunch of Colts.
Well, a team like Denver that's overcome so many adversities this year really has a lot of momentum to get them into the playoffs.
First, someone gets an idea.
Score, Elway's 3rd touchdown pass. They all came in the 4th period. Gerald Wilhite coming down. This clinches a playoff spot for the Denver Broncos. And what a comeback it was, Bob Chandler.
Well, they showed a lot of guts today, Jay, coming back when they had to. This is Gerald Wilhite once again. It's such a big play. We'll show it to you again. This put them ahead and got them into the playoffs where they so desperately wanted to get in. Going into it with this kind of momentum is what they really needed.
Good night from Denver.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. We serve more of this land's top 100 business centers than any other airline. Fly the friendly skies.
This has been a presentation of NBC Sports, the leader in innovative sports television.
Tomorrow, a look at a bitter strike that's turning father against son, neighbor against neighbor.
There's this.